Good morning, friends. Welcome to another episode of Body Moves and Breakthroughs. I'm going to do something a little different today, which I hope and I trust will ignite a breakthrough for you. That's the invitation. I'm going to start with a little story because I think it'll help you to understand what I want to share today, which I call an orientation reading. Many of you know that my husband and I owned a gym and then a personal training studio for about a decade. We walked beside various individuals from competitive athletes to seniors, and every single one of them, I think we impacted their lives, and they certainly impacted ours. And we used the vehicle of fitness and the training of our bodies to really be an opportunity to connect with people on a one-on-one and small group basis to help them to make positive change. And I used to jokingly say, I'd happily throw around weights with somebody if that meant that I had the opportunity to meet with them on a consistent basis and hold space for them so they could step more fully into all of themselves. So my husband used to stand outside of our personal training studio. He loves talking to people. He loves connecting with people. And he literally used to stand outside of our studio and ask people where they were from, if they were local, what they do for their fitness. And then he would ask them if they would be willing for him to, he would say, can I show you something? And he'd invite them into our studio and he'd show them a really, really simple exercise that demonstrated how to connect more intentionally with their body. So regardless of what their answer was for what they were currently doing with their fitness, he would offer that something more was available. And I think that that's what I'd like to do today. I'd like to ask you not just what are you doing currently for your body, for your health, but also what are you doing for your heart? What are you doing to take care of yourself from the inside out during these pretty interesting times that we're living? What are you doing to connect more deeply? What are you doing to stay grounded, to find your rhythm, to level out your moods, and to stay focused on what truly matters to you? And regardless of what your answer is to that question, I would like to invite you to allow me to show you something that I do for myself and for other people, whether that's one-on-one privately or in a small group, that helps them to connect more deeply, more intentionally, and more intuitively with the guidance, the wisdom that is there for us, and really wanting us to connect in more deeply at this time. So I am going to share with you what I do for an orientation reading. And I've been using a deck of cards that's pretty special to me right now, by the artist and the teacher, Rebecca Campbell. And this is her deck called the Ancient Stones. So really when I do a reading like this, I typically ask people to draw a circle on a piece of paper, on a blank piece of paper. And so I'm going to ask you to do that now, to draw a circle, to stop this video, draw a circle. And in that circle, there's going to be 4 quadrants. So I'll just draw it out so I can demonstrate to you quickly what that looks like. There's 4 quadrants available to you. So on the top left, this is the here and now. So if you are watching this video in July, this is really what's coming up for you. I always call it now for next. On the right hand side, and I'll hold this up in a moment, top quadrant, right hand side, I call this next. So again, this would for me be the summer of 2026 if you're watching this currently. On the bottom left, this is kind of like the next chapter. So I would call this our coming up to our harvest season. So what is coming up for you after September 21st, when we move more fully into the fall? And then finally in the right quadrant, that feels kind of like the close of this chapter. So I'm going to actually say this is coming up to the end of the year, and possibly even to a little more guidance going into the new year. So I'll just hold this up and show you quickly. So we go from now to next, then we move into the next chapter, which is the autumn time, and then finally, what guidance is there for us as we kind of close up this year and take a peek into next year. Now, when I'm working with people as an intuitive transformation guide, so whether that has been physically, whether that's been in business, whether that's been just supporting people to perform better in their lives. And when I say the word perform, I don't mean like performance, but I mean there's so much potential that's available to us. What are we proactively doing on a daily, weekly, monthly, annual basis to kind of unlock a little more of that potential in our lives? And how are we not only unlocking it, but then also embodying it? Like, what's the practice? And I've been really studying this for my entire adult life, and so this is another vehicle to help facilitate that. So I'm going to draw some cards today. This is again what I would be doing with you in a private reading, what I do in small groups. And I'm just going to trust that if you have tuned into this video, if you've tuned into this series and you're looking for some guidance, some direction, some clarity. Now, what I will say, these cards are meant to unlock something in you. The answer is already inside of you. The potential is inside of you. The guidance is inside of you, waiting to be asked. There's nothing outside of you that you don't already know. And sometimes we just need to set up the space. Sometimes with a guide, sometimes, just setting up the space and surrounding yourself with the tools that might help you to unlock some of these next steps. So really, whether you're on a weight room floor and you're using dumbbells to transform your body, or you're taking some time on a quiet beach and you're utilizing a deck of cards that have been shared with an amazing artist and teacher, a tool is a tool is a tool to bring more aliveness and wholeness to your life. Okay, so I'm going to draw 4 cards. I'm going to set them out on my journal in the way that we've drawn those circles. So it's going to go now for now, next, next chapter and close of the year. I will say that from my experience, the guidance is most clear, crisp, poignant the closer it is to us. It gets more general the further it is away from us. So the first card is now for next, and I'll show you each of these cards as I draw them. So this card, and they're all beautiful, is called Energy Rising. That's our first card. And I'm just going to do them one at a time, and I'm going to read to you. So again, think about this. We're entering into July, which is an extremely powerful month. And the card that we've just drawn is Energy Rising. Vitality, confidence, power, decisiveness. Wow. Okay. And I will be sharing in the comments the actual reading that most resonates, that goes with that card. But I think that just feeling your energy rising and knowing that there's an invitation to you around energy rising as we step into this month is an incredible bit of guidance. And what does that look and feel like in your life right now? The next card is really for the summer itself. And the summer itself, the card actually is the egg stone. Another just beautiful card. These cards are just so incredible. I won't read the whole reading now because I don't want this video to get too long, but you should know that it says feminine power, embodiment, and fertility. So this summer is such a highly, highly creative time. And so the guidance that's really coming through for us, the invitation, the reflection, the question to ask yourself is, what is wanting to be birthed for you at this time? And are you carving out the space to do so? Are you intentionally carving out the space? Are you meeting it halfway? Because something is wanting to and ready to come through. That's really the guidance. Our third card, so bottom left, is really post September 21st as we start to enter into the fall season. And this card, again, just such beautiful, interesting cards, is the Caliche. This is the elder, the teacher, the wise one, and experience. So again, without reading the full definition from this deck, which I will post below in the comments, I'm going to ask you to connect into and with the wisdom of this card for yourself. What does this say to you when it lands for you? And I think this card for me is about trusting the teacher, trusting the wise one within us. Just by sharing these orientation readings, for example, even though this is something that I do for myself and have done for myself for years, and now I am sharing it more publicly with others, it takes a lot of trust, it takes a lot of faith, and it takes some guts to be able to be more vocal about what's available to us intuitively and by connecting with our guides and our ancestors and those who are around us, at any given time. This last card is really the card that's likely a bit more general because it's furthest away from us, but it's going to give us some guidance to help us be aware of as we close out our year and enter into the new year. And this guidance is really not surprising at all. The guidance, and again, another just beautiful card, what I notice is there's this incredible mountaintop, and on the top of the mountain is this vista, this point, this peak, and this bright, bright sun, this bright light at the very top. And this woman is navigating through some stones and some boulders. They're a little bit uneven. There's a bit of a tricky terrain that she's navigating over, but she's making it. She's holding up her skirt and she's going for it. And the card says, pave your own path. It's about leadership, courage, forge forward, don't follow. And again, I will write what most comes through in these cards in the comments, but what I will say is I think it's pretty self-explanatory. You are being given guidance. If you're connecting in with this work, with this series called Body Moves and Breakthroughs, this card is really sharing with you that this is your time to forge forward, and it's not time to follow. New ways, new narratives are really needed at this time, and that's the guidance for you. So I hope you have a great day, and I hope that you can spend some time and space doing a bit of journaling this week, or self-reflection. That could be voice notes, could be coffee with a friend, and just allow what wants to come through, utilizing these tools to help reorient yourself a little more. I hope you'll spend some time and space and be able to do that. And if you're looking for some support and a little guidance, I hope that you will check out our work and my website, which I'll also post below. It'd be a pleasure to walk beside you this summer. Take good care.